Okay, there we go. I just
Bro.
had to press a button. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Oh,
What?
I don't see it yet.
You're live. It says you're live. It says you're live. We're popping. We're doing it.
I don't see it yet.
Refresh.
Oh, I see it now. I see it now. I see it now. Hey, what's going on, guys?
Silly boy. All right, here we are, baby.
This was our first attempt.
Okay,
Don't worry.
Let's go. Let's go.
What's going on?
Let's go. Let's go. Okay, TikTok. We're balling. All right.
Chat,
all right.
is this
What's
real?
good? What's good? What's good? Chat.
Does
What's
this sound
good?
good?
We cooking. Chat. We're cooking. Chat. We're cooking. It's right. It's happening. It's happening. Okay. Let's.
That from the candidates. They don't have to take what's being.
Okay. Okay. We got the audio working. Jacob, say something.
Penis.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Chat. Listen. 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 This is a pregame. This is a pregame right now. This is a pregame right now. Okay. Let me pop the big screen, and then I'll drag this over here, so I can have both chats. Okay. Okay. We balling. We balling. Oh, Jacob, can you tweet it out, please? Everywhere. And on
Yes.
Discord as well.
Yes, I can.
Thank
Cooked.
you, goat. Thank you, goat. What's good? What's good? What's good? We're cooking. We're cooking. Okay, put live chat. I'm taking a fat shit to work right now. 77 knot. What's good, bro? We like that. We like that. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Hosted by CNN, mind you. Okay, okay. We're cooking right now. We're cooking. I think we're cooking on all fronts. Okay, we're cooking on all fronts, baby. It's the debate. Start Sprangled banner. It's right now. It's in 3 minutes. Okay, let me take a sip of water. Who are gonna be the presidents? What? The president again? Oh yeah,
Kanye
exactly.
West.
Jacob and I, we wore all white. No
That was
clan.
planned.
No clan shit. We're locked in. We're connected, chat. TikTok, we're there. YouTube, we're there. We're cooking, chat. We're cooking. We're watching the debate. I'm checking. I love presidential debates. Lasagna Eater says, "Bro,
I saw a tweet from this guy. He said, "Getting Biden hyped for the debate by letting him put in plastic vampire fangs."
can we ever listen to the first 30 episodes of the podcast, or is it lost media?
It's lost media.
Lost media, bro. Sorry.
It wasn't good. You're really
good.
not
It
missing
was too
much.
bad. Chat, we deleted the whole thing. It was too ass. I promise to you. You're better off without.
Jason was just slinging slurs, just hitting people, dude. We had to take that shit down.
Exactly. How do I?
And then threats to the president, which, given this live stream, isn't very appropriate.
Exactly.
So we had to just kind of lock in.
Chad,
Sorry,
we're
Chad.
trying to make some money. You know, I remember some of them. Damn, they were in the
We're
best.
cooked.
Chat. We're in the best chat. 77.
Yeah. How about
I missed the first.
how about
30.
you? How about you unremember some of those? Do me a favor and just clock out.
Okay, there we go. Now I can.
All right. Chat, we are here. This is our first stream on the group account since 2021, I think.
Yeah, this is the first ever.
Wow, we got to do this more often. Live
This is
podcast
fun,
one day. Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Cannot be can we be like cannot anymore be like, hey yo, cut this out. This is not gonna happen.
If we accidentally say the N word, we just say girl math.
Okay.
It's all good.
All right.
I'm a
Yeah,
material girl.
We're done right now.
We're gonna be ending the stream, guys. Be sure to check out the presidential debate link in the description below.
Exactly. Jacob's already acting aloof. Acting aloof.
I'm not acting aloof.
So sad they have mic mute button. Yeah, I want them to yell at each other. You know what I mean? I want somebody to throw a shoe or something. You know what I mean?
Dude, shoes are being thrown. This
okay, here we go. Here we go. It started.
November
Lock
5th
in.
will be the most important day in the history of our country.
Jacob, you watching the same stream? Yeah.
Yes, I think so. You're on the CNN one.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
Chat,
asked.
live
I knew what
podcast,
to
girl
do,
math.
man.
We're locked in.
Let me get the chat on the other side. Hang on.
Moments away, chat. TikTok, what's good? Smart fella, fart smello. Thank you for the follow, goat.
Shout out
WWE
SideQuest Dan.
presidential election
How you
edition.
doing?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
All right, dude. The boys are missing out. I can't believe it's just
Hunter
us two.
Biden, my goat. Hunter Biden is literally the goat. And I don't understand what's the right wing's media obsession with Hunter Biden, bro. Buddy just smoke crack and fuck around. Like, what's so bad about it? So what, your presidential son?
What, you don't endorse a president that would smoke crack in the
But
past?
he's not a
I don't-
president. He's just a guy.
The upcoming president, excuse me.
His is gonna me yap against these old fucks. Wish me luck.
We're on space time. We're actually ahead a little bit. We know who wins. That's a
Yeah,
weird
exactly,
flex.
exactly.
Hosted by CNN.
Yeah, I put that shit on extra low latency, chat. You guys are getting pretty much the same stream we're getting.
Lock in.
Lock in, chat. He living the dream, Loki. That's what I'm saying, bro. Hunter Biden, Loki, he just and worst case, anything he does, presidential pardon. Oh, here we go, baby, here we go. Look at him, green and gooners. Oh god, this is dystopian in a certain way what we're doing right now. Potential
Dude,
W stream, guaranteed
Dude.
W stream, bro.
Do you want to bet whether or not Biden like goes to the mic first try, or is he got to be directed?
What if
he's
somebody
gonna
just-
walk past it, and be like,
See,
"Oh, I
that's-
don't know where
that's
I'm
one
going."
thing- that's one thing I've been so worried about. What if
I know,
somebody
me too.
dies right then and there?
Does Trump just win if Biden has a heart attack on
Well,
stage?
no, they have. I don't know, bro. Just
No,
wants
I
to
think it
suck on
wins by
toes and the
default,
pipe.
dude.
That's what I'm saying. Some dude just got it locked in.
Oh man.
Chat,
This
like
is
up
gonna
the
be
stream, like
crazy.
up the stream on TikTok, like up the stream on YouTube. Come on, let's get this shit going.
Oh yeah, let me get the stream up on my TikTok for view retention.
Yeah.
Gonna lock in chat.
Chat, lock in, please. Come on.
Please welcome the 46th president of the United States.
Let's
Let's
go!
go! I'm going! Look, he's so scared. He's scared to be here.
He's like, "Is that the mic?"
Or right here.
He did it!
He said,
He
"Oh,
did
right
it by
here."
himself.
You seen the video of him arguing with a hooker how much crack he has?
Oh shit!
He also he don't know where he is. Oh, this
Dude,
is so bad.
it's like Endgame 2, chat.
Biden
like
more
Thanos
like Gaiden,
coming
he
up-
said. Oh my god, bro, this is horrible.
We're
Gentlemen,
cooked.
thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate, and let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern.
They do not
the
know where they are,
economy.
bro. Nuh-uh.
President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high.
Geriatric
Since you took
races,
office,
baby.
The price of essentials has increased. For example,
That's
a
a good
basket
question.
of
That's a good
groceries that
question.
cost $100 then now costs more than $120.
That's a good question. That's a good
And
question.
typical home prices have
I'm glad we're
jumped more
starting
than
out with this.
30%.
We're going in
What do
strong.
you say to voters who feel they are worse off?
See, that's
under
already more
your
than 3 sentences. They don't
presidency
know what
than
the
they
fuck
were
going
under
on.
President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, "It's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right." The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do was try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out the position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done.
He
There's more to
cooking,
be
he
done.
cooking,
Working
he
class
cooking.
people are still
But
in
his
trouble.
mouth audio
I
is
come
so
from
bad,
Scranton,
bro.
Pennsylvania. I come from a household where at a kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was
Is
a
he already
problem.
drooling?
Price of eggs, the price
Yeah,
of
yeah.
gas, the price of housing.
Bro, just do this.
A whole range of things.
Drink some
That's
water,
why I'm
bro.
working so hard to make sure
They look
I deal
AI.
with those problems.
They do, bro.
And we're going to make sure that we reduce.
Dude, that's
price
the
of housing.
future, dude.
We're going to make
Or
sure
now.
we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over. The combination, what I was left with in corporate
check your
greed, is
text.
the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation
why he sounds
where
so, ugh.
if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't
Bro,
do
this
much
is
at
horrible.
all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally
Damn, dude.
chaos. And so we put things back
Take
together.
a
We
sip of
created, like I said,
water.
those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where
Maybe use a
now
rag or something,
we
bro.
brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a
Lock
major
in,
issue for
bro,
many
God.
people. To $15 for a insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay
He
more
cooking
than
on insulin, though, I
$200
can't lie.
for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. And the situation is and we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
But you're not doing
Thank
shit,
you, President
though.
Trump.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID. And when we did, we spent the money necessary.
He
so we
opened
wouldn't
straight
end up
with
in
the
a Great
greatest.
Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things.
He cooking on no
was
wars,
rocking
though.
good.
But again,
But the
everybody
thing
was
we never
locked
got
up,
the
so
credit
whatever.
for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than
What
that,
you mean, bro? You
we
had no
given
mandates.
them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs.
People in the
bounce back
chat
from
saying
COVID.
it's the most they've
He
seen
has
them
not
talk
done a
without
good
memes.
job. He's done a poor
Right
job,
on,
and
bro.
inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you. President Biden?
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world.
Oh, he
And,
lost the
you
South
know,
right
the fact
now.
of the matter is that
With that, he lost everybody.
everybody.
We're not the greatest.
His economy.
They can't
he
keep
rewarded
getting
the
away with
wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs.
Ooh, he
than
pulling up
had
with the
when he began,
statistics. Watch
since
out.
Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant and the
He
military.
sounds deflated for sure, bro.
when
That's
he was
exactly how he
president, we
sounds,
were
bro.
still killing
Bro
people
sounds
in
he's like in a
Afghanistan.
permanent
We
exhale.
didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying
slip
anywhere
up.
in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
It's crazy
You
that
want-
they're
To
both
respond to him.
Well, I'm going to
They're
ask you
so
to follow
tame
up. You
so
can do
far.
whatever you want with the minute that we give you.
Come on.
I wanna
He's
follow
already-
up.
he's
You
already
wanna
mad.
impose a
Trump looks
10%
angry
tariff
already.
on all goods coming into the
You can
U.S.
tell he's hyped to be there,
How
dude.
will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others. In all
He
fairness,
pulled
to
out the
China.
banger. He pulled
It's
out the
gonna
old
just
timer.
force them to pay us a
He
lot.
pulled out
the
reduce
big
our
C.
deficit tremendously and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a
Has
statement.
multiple
The only
meanings.
thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax
China
cut
banger.
in history.
He
I
pulled
also
out the
gave you the
all-timer.
largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the
classic
jobs.
China. Yeah, that's
And the
awesome.
jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership.
started
because
talking
they
as soon
spent
as
money
bro
like
stopped. I'm saying
a bunch of people that didn't know what they were
he like a
doing, and
dog,
they
you know.
don't
They
what
call,
they
they
were
hold
doing. It was
him
the
back
worst-
with a
probably
mute
the
button
worst
like a pit bull.
administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out.
When
It
did
was
they
the
make
most
out this is
amazing day
boring?
in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last
closing
8
statement.
years,
Look at my
under
face,
both
look at
of
my
your
face.
administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt. While so far, President Biden,
Yo,
you've
W
approved
Yuri, bro.
$4.3
W
trillion
Yuri.
Dude, he's
in
still
new debt.
doing it.
So former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you
That's
signed
gonna be
into
the new
law are
meme,
set to
dude.
expire next year. You want to extend them and go even
Skibbity
further,
Biden.
you say.
Skibbity Biden.
With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits
They cut away from
and
him so
record
fast,
debt,
bro. I'm crying.
why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And
Bro,
even
looks
after
like Mitch
COVID, it
McConnell,
was
bro.
so
That's what I'm
strong that
saying.
we were
He
able
saw-
to
he
get
saw
through
the
COVID
Reaper.
much
Oh,
better
he
than
sleep.
just about any other country.
Oh,
But
he
we
sleep.
spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax,
When the bitches
and
still
companies
to the
were bringing
function, yeah,
back
he locked
trillions
in.
of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before. And we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using
He
the
holding
liquid
on for
gold
dear
right
life
under
to
our
the
feet,
podium, bro.
the oil
Look at
and
him.
gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody
Oh, I
else
forgot my
has
walking
had.
cane
We got
today.
hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him
have
an
no idea what they're
unbelievable
saying. I don't mean
situation
either.
with all of the
They just go in
therapeutics and
circles,
all
bro.
of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our
All I'm
administration,
saying is one
and
of
we
these
were right in the
men
middle
isn't
of
a
it.
felon.
Something which
Bro,
a lot of
and
people
yes,
don't
but the
like
other
to
guy,
talk
look at
about.
he looking
But he
away.
had far more people dying in his
Motherfucker said people
administration.
died in his
He did the
administration. Motherfucker,
mandate,
you
which
had
is a
COVID.
disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the
And also,
thing
my
that
boy,
people most
COVID
objected
happened,
to
you
about
fucked
the
up,
vaccine.
and then he
did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only
Bro,
poor
we're
there,
fucked
but
either way.
throughout the entire world, we're
Look
no
at his
longer
face.
respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore.
Trump
we're
is
like
locked
a third
in.
world
Yeah,
nation.
Trump
between
can't
He
stop.
is really locked
weaponization
in.
of
This
his
is
election, trying
this
to
is
go
still
after
a
his
one
political
run-on
opponent.
sentence, bro.
All of the things he's done, we've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, and I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions.
Biden, lock
to come
in.
into our country and destroy our country.
Oh,
President Trump, we will get to immigration.
He's like, I will
later in
respond
this
after
block.
my
You
quick
Americans
nap.
are having a
I want
match
to give you an
between a
opportunity to
fascist and a
respond to this
dinosaur.
question about the national debt.
They're both
He
fucking
had the
dinosaurs.
largest
What are you
That's the
talking
tax
thing.
cut
about?
of any president
This
for your
dude, they're
period,
about
number
the
one.
same age.
Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system.
What is this? It's an ad?
I don't see it.
Shit.
You need ad block.
They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million.
Trump is
billion
78,
dollars, I
bro.
should say,
Wrap it
in
up.
a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the
Look at Trump reaction.
with the COVID. Excuse me.
He fiending. He fiending.
Dealing with everything we have to do with.
He fiending for the stutter.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
I didn't
because
drop.
Oh,
all
that
these
he
people
cooked him
coming
right
in,
there. He
they're
beat it.
putting
He
him
beat
on
it to death.
Medicare. They're putting him on Social Security.
He's
They're going to
slipping.
destroy
Oh,
Social
brother,
Security. This man is going to
so
single-handedly
Biden's gonna
destroy
get cooked,
Social
I think.
Security. These
I think
millions
so,
and millions
bro.
of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe
older
out
than my country.
Social
Where you
Security.
from, bro?
He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence.
That's
and
a
it's
very
a shame.
small list.
What's happened to our country in the last 4 years
You're gonna watch and
is
tell me
not
young
to
people
be
shouldn't be the
believed.
power? What's good,
Foreign
Allie?
countries, I'm
It's
friends
over,
with a lot
Allie.
of
That's what I'm
people.
saying.
They
This is
cannot
like
believe
watching
what
a car
happened to the
crash,
United
pretty much,
States of
for us.
America. We're no longer respected.
I think if
They-
one of
they
us,
don't like
either
us.
Jason or I,
We
were
give them every. What we're
Cosmic
doing
Cast
for
as
other
presidents, we're
countries,
locked in.
and they do nothing for us. What
We're
this man
so
has
cooked
done
if we're
is
president.
absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning,
here
the
we go.
court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing
Let's go.
emergency abortions to continue in Idaho.
Oh, Jacob,
despite
you're in
they
the
allowed
advance.
it,
You're
right?
in
restrictive
advance.
ban.
Jacob, you're in advance.
Former President Trump, you take credit
Pause.
for the decision
1
to
second.
overturn Roe
Click
v.
the like
Wade,
button.
which returned the issue of
Suck it.
abortion to the states.
Correct.
However,
It's better
the
we're
federal
synced.
government still plays a role in
Did you
whether
pause?
or not women have
No.
access to abortion
Because
pills.
I'm live as well. Hold on.
They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions.
It looks about the same for me.
As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And
Maybe
if
not.
you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really
I'll pause
complex.
in a minute.
51 years ago,
Just do tick,
you
tick,
had Roe
that's
v.
it.
Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives.
No, he's lying. Isn't
Everybody
he lying?
wanted it back.
Put me up
Religious
on the
leaders.
podium and America will just
And
be
what I
fine. That's what I'm
did
saying.
is I put
Take
3
any
great
young
Supreme Court
person in
justices
their
on the
40s,
court,
30s,
and they happened
and
to
it's
vote
done.
in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, and getting into other things. But every
Okay, I'm gonna
legal
sync it up.
scholar throughout the world, the
locked
most
in.
respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio,
can't
it was
tell
a
where we're
decision
at.
that was an end
Should be fine.
result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have
What you
thought.
mean states working it out?
Kansas, I
Motherfucker,
would
you
say
seen
the
what's
same
going on in
thing.
the South?
Texas is different.
Oh my God,
Florida is
Biden
different.
losing it. He's
But they're
shitting
all
himself on
making their own
stage, bro. Look at his
decisions right
face.
now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why
But
can't you
I
run as
believe
a
in the
felon as a
exceptions
president?
for
How's that fair?
rape,
I thought you couldn't
incest,
vote as
and
a
the
felon.
life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also, and because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected.
He's taking a nap, bro.
The problem they have
Ronald
is they're
Reagan is not a
radical
reference
because
dimension.
they will
Exactly, bro. That's
take
what
the
I'm
life
saying.
of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby.
What is
What
he
happened
talking
is we
about?
brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a
No,
great
it's not.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars
He finally
supported
did it.
decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's
W.
so many
Biden,
young
bro.
women who have been,
Yeah, calm.
including a young woman
Trump is
who just
unusually
was
locked in.
murdered.
Because
And
he knows this
he
time
went
it's
to
not
the
for
funeral.
games.
And
He
the
can't pull on
idea that
showmanship
she
around
was
this
murdered
time.
by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot of
Here's the deal,
young women
champ.
being
Look
raped
here,
by
folks.
by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
There have been many young women murdered by the same
Is there a
people he
timer?
allows to
I think
come
so.
across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. Considered the most
Ranked
dangerous
competitive
place anywhere in the
yapping.
world. And he
Ranked
opened it up
competitive
and
yapping.
things are coming into our country.
It's
and they are
ranked.
What do you mean
raping
we have the
and
most
killing
dangerous
women.
border? Motherfucker,
And it's
no.
a terrible thing.
Yeah,
As
I
far
can
as the
name
abortion
5
is
different
concerned, it is
bor-
now back
more
with the
dangerous
states. The
borders
states are
right
voting.
now.
In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which, frankly, they didn't. But they would have. Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't
okay,
able to
he
get
knows
it.
he wants
Ronald
to-
Reagan
he wants to be
sucks,
Reagan.
bro.
Back, and many presidents had
Not
tried
getting
to
us on
get it
Reagan
back.
shit.
People
I was
forget
the one
that
to do
Biden
it.
was
And
a
again,
senator
this
for
gives
40
it
years.
The vote
Right
of the
on.
people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman
North
can
Korea, South
obtain
Korea
an
border
abortion.
is so peaceful. Exactly.
Do you
bro.
support any legal limits
Colombia
on how late a
and
woman should
Panama
be able
border.
to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The
How about
third
woman
time
and
is
woman?
between
Woman and
the
herself.
doctor-
How about that?
I mean, between the woman and the state. The idea
Ronald
that
Reagan, the
politicians-
actor?
that the founders wanted the politicians.
No, they're going to talk
be
about
the ones
an
making
actor, too.
decisions
they're going to
about
talk about
women's health
Palestine
is
later, I
ridiculous.
imagine.
That's the
Or
last.
probably they maybe
no
not won't even
politician
cover
should be making that
Palestine.
decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
W.
Oh, look at
He
this.
can take
Last
the life
year
of the
talk.
baby in the 9th month.
What if
and
one of
even
them
after
refers to
birth,
America
because
as
some
chat?
states,
That would be
Democrat
hilarious.
run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing
But you don't
to,
do
as
shit.
we
It-
say,
it
rip
costs
the baby out of the
$35,000 to
womb
adopt
in
the
the 9th
baby.
month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not
You're lying.
true. That Roe v. Wade does not provide for that.
They have
That's not
to.
the circumstance.
Chat will make
Only
America
woman's
great
life is
again.
in danger. She's going to die.
Lord.
That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can
That's
do
the
whatever you
point,
want.
dumbass.
We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? In fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets
Biden
elected,
locked in.
and
Biden
the MAGA
really heavy on
Republicans
reproductive
control the
rights.
Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration
They
and
didn't
border
let Trump
security.
go.
President Biden, a record
They
number
said, "Shut
of
the fuck up."
migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states,
Biden had a couple
overburdening cities
abortions.
such as New
He's
York
speaking
and
from
Chicago,
experience.
and in some
Goddamn.
cases causing real safety
Locked
and
in.
security concerns.
Biden locked in.
He's
I'm
Given
fucking.
that,
He's
why should
fucking.
voters trust you to solve
Biden
this
cooking.
crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed
got
the law,
Biden on the
what's
most-
happened?
on the
I've
Hunter
changed it
Biden
in a way that
cocktail.
now you're in a situation
Biden
where
may clutch the
there are
vote.
40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on
Hitler versus Hitler
the
over
total
here.
initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said.
There we
either.
go. He
Look,
locked in. He locked in. He locked
the
in on
safest
cooking
border in
him.
the history of our
He's
country.
gaslighting.
Look at his face.
All he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it.
He's how dare
He
you?
decided to open up our border, open up our country to
Oh man, we're
people
cooked.
that are
Bro, not
from
one
prisons.
lip per face
people
over
that
here.
are from
0.5
mental
lip
institutions, insane
average.
asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country
Gonna watch
right now.
AI
all
president.
terrorists all over the world,
Let's
not
Plays,
just in
I'm
South
saying,
America,
bro.
all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world. They're pouring in, and this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency,
Yeah,
we
guess
had,
what? It
according to
was
Border Patrol, who
COVID.
was great. And by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that. But
What
they
up,
endorsed me for
Tia?
president. Brandon, just speak to him. But look, we had the safest border in
He said
history.
Brandon.
Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including
just got
the
an
people
ad
that
for
are coming
Biden
up
begging
in
for more
California.
money.
Trump. President
I
Biden-
first read
The
pegging
only
for money, and I was
terrorist
very
who's done
concerned.
anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in his administration, killed 3 American
news.
soldiers. Kill 3 American
No, that's what I'm
soldiers.
saying, bro.
That's the
He
only
cooking. He
terrorist that's
cooking.
there.
He's
I'm not saying that
he's
no terrorist ever
cooking
got through, but the
nothing.
idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people. That's simply not true. There's
you
no
know that
data.
Logan
to
Paul
support what he said.
platformed
Once
Trump
again, he's exaggerating. He's lying.
on his podcast?
President Trump, staying on the
Really?
topic of immigration,
Oh, yeah.
you
And
said
then
that you're going to carry
Trump
out,
said,
quote, the
because
largest
Thea said
domestic
about
deportation
Trump doesn't know how to
operation
write
in American
speeches,
history,
and so
unquote.
Trump says he
Does that
uses
mean that
AI
you
to
will
write his
deport
speeches?
every undocumented immigrant in America, including those
Okay,
who have jobs,
co-pilot.
including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just one second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world.
But it's
and
funny
had a
to keep
huge
doing
impact
that
on
face,
everything, not
bro.
just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying, and also killing
Come on.
our citizens when they come in. We
okay,
we
I
are
thought he was
living
gonna
right
cook him
now
on
in a
Gaza.
rat's nest. They're killing
'Cause that
our
would've been-
people in
went
New York,
entirely
in
crazy.
California, in every state in the union.
Biden's
because we
getting
don't have
cooked right
borders
now. They're
anymore.
both
Every
cooking each
state
other.
is now a border, and because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before.
Oh, my
and
God.
you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years
Biden
old.
about to crash
this is
out.
horrible
He
what's
about to
taken
pounce.
place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know.
Bro's in
He
disbelief.
opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to
This
get
is
them
so
out
funny
fast
of him to
because
say
they're going to destroy our
that,
country.
oh, we had
Just
the best
take a look at
border
where they're living.
ever.
They're living
last
in
Trump's
luxury
presidency.
hotels.
Motherfucker, yeah, it was COVID.
In New York
Nobody
City
was
and
going
other
anywhere.
places.
Everybody
Our
was at the
veterans
crib.
are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military.
That's
at
what I'm saying,
all.
some dude. They got to
And
swing.
He doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress. All of the different things I approved.
How immigration and
they
security for
abandoned.
U.S. citizens
We
are
had
related.
By
That's
far
what
the
I'm saying.
highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just
Yeah, I
because
say we close the
approved
Canadian
it, which is
border.
crazy.
Lock
But
them
he has
bitches
killed
up.
so many people at
Don't
our
let those
border by
Canadians in
allowing
our
all of these
country
people to come
walk
in.
in.
And
President
it's a
Biden?
very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie.
He's
Every single
gaslighting.
one.
Let's go. Let's
Everything he
go.
said was a dirty lie.
Past the pack.
Cook.
1 million of them now have
Trump is good
insurance,
at
and their
causing
families
hate.
have
Bro,
it.
that's his
Their
whole
families
stick.
have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or
Where are the other
other
presidential
they're all
candidates?
being
It's
covered
over.
now. And he
This is
opposed
all
this.
you have. This is
He
all you
proposed
get.
that.
it.
We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans.
Fighting about
My
to
son-
lunge
my son
over. That's what I'm
spent a
saying.
year in
I
Iraq,
think it's a swing.
living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in
Irony am I for
France
president.
for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker.
Oh, yeah. He
You're
locked in on the
the-
sun. He locked in on the
President
sun.
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I
Look
have.
at his Biden face. Oh,
think
my
that
God. I
would,
can't
in
do this,
front of
bro. They're getting
generals and
heated. I'm
others,
saying.
say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never
Project
said by me.
2025 is insane.
It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son Hunter.
Oh, stop
It wasn't
referencing
Russia
niche
disinformation.
internet
He made up the
controversies.
suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right
Emote
now.
potential. I'm
4-star
saying.
general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it. Period. That's number one. And number two, the idea.
Period.
The idea that I
Period.
have to apologize
Number
to you
one.
for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history.
They're going at it.
American
They go.
history.
The
And
people.
now
They don't
and
no
their
longer
family, The
intervene.
only sacred obligation we have as a
They
country
lock
is
in.
to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA
How about
is
we
doing
don't
now.
go to war?
They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Let's move to the topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Former President Trump, Russian President
That's
Vladimir
what I'm saying. They're
Putin
just
says
fighting.
he'll
People
only
don't
end
want to watch
this
this because
war
all they do
if
is
Russia
fight.
keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed.
Why does she got
and
two mics, bro?
Ukraine abandons
You see
its
that shit?
bid to join NATO.
Yeah.
Maybe different news
Are
stations. I
Putin's
don't know.
terms acceptable to you?
Stereo and
First of
mono.
all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him,
See you there.
that we've ever had.
Appreciate you
They
coming
can't
on.
stand him. So let's get that straight.
Oh, my
And they like me more than just about any of them.
What is
And that's based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the
can't do this, bro. I
president that
can't do
knew,
this.
that was
Oh, my
respected by
God.
Putin, he would have never
Look at his
invaded
Joker
Ukraine.
smile.
A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going
Biden's
in.
is about
I'll tell you
to
what happened.
seal
He
the
was so
deal
bad
here
with
and now.
Afghanistan.
He's
It
about to
was
kill
such
him.
a horrible,
He might pull out a
embarrassing,
gun,
most
dude.
embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Listen here, folks.
That
Might
when
practice his
Putin
rights to
watched
bear
that and he saw
arms.
the incompetence that he should have fired those generals
Biden
like I
Joker
fired the one
arc,
that
I'm
you
saying,
mentioned.
bro.
And so he's got no love lost. But he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left
Who just walked in
billions of
front of
dollars
Biden?
of equipment behind. We
I
lost
think there's
13 beautiful soldiers.
more
and
embarrassing
38
moments
soldiers
than just
were
Afghanistan
obliterated. And by the way,
in the
we
history
left
of the
people
country.
behind too. We left American
I can name
citizens
at
behind.
least
When Putin saw
50,000.
that, he said, you know
Biden looks
what?
like he's about to
I
cry.
think
That's
we're
been
gonna
the
go in and
entire
maybe take
debate so
my-
far.
This
That's
is
his
his
face.
dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded
Oh,
in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was
he
broke
almost
with
said
me.
he
I
almost
wouldn't
said
let
that like
anybody
Israel
do
almost
business with
invaded
them.
Palestine.
They ran out of money.
He
They
almost
were broke.
said
They
it,
had no
but then
money
he was like,
for
"Oh shit,
Hamas.
let me."
They had no
let me
money for
remember
anything.
where I'm standing.
No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under
Well,
him.
Chad, I wasn't expecting a miracle like
President
anybody
Biden?
would be pro-Palestine out of these
Never
two.
heard so
but-
much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter is that we're
Look
in a
here,
situation
listen
where,
here,
let's
folks.
take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops.
Chad, like up the
killed,
tweet, the
caused
TikTok.
brain
Everybody watch
damage
it like that shit
for
up,
a
please.
number of these troops.
I'm not
And
sorry.
He did nothing about
Malarkey.
it. Not when he was
W
president.
world ending.
They
Let's go.
attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number 2, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number 3.
Did Biden get a
we found ourselves in
turkey
situation
hairline
where
surgery? Look at his scalp.
If you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want.
We do not have
And
any
that's
other
exactly
options.
what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days.
There
Remember?
are, but they're not
It was
going to
part of the
win.
old
It's going to be
Soviet
one of
Union.
these two.
That's what he wanted to
That's why they're not on the
reestablish.
panel.
Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I
if
never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the
No, they're
territory
not
in Ukraine.
acceptable. No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started.
I know
If we
Putin's
had a
sitting
leader
back
in
over
this
there just
war,
rubbing on
he
his
let
Johnson.
everybody along. He's given
He
$200
happy
billion
as hell.
now
Oh,
in
they
the
all,
war
they're both
to
stupid as
Ukraine.
hell.
He's given
Dude, you know
$200 billion.
Putin's
That's
stroking
a
his
lot
shit
of
right now,
money. I
dude.
don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled.
That's
People being
sus, dude.
killed
That's
so
crazy.
needlessly,
That
so
is sus.
stupidly.
Putin jerking
And
it right
I will
now.
get it settled.
And by
I'll
jerking
get
it, let's
settled
say his
fast before I
penis.
take office.
His
Biden,
party-
you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed
Lock in, Biden.
thousands
Lock
and
in.
thousands
Lock
of
in,
people.
Biden.
And
Tell
he
him.
has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, and by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point.
Lockheed
And
Martin
our NATO
stocks are
allies have
up.
Produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Boeing up.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel,
Here we go.
killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza.
You would love
So
to be a
what
war merchant
additional
right now?
leverage will you use
yeah.
to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Endorsed the plan I put forward.
What's the plan?
There's just 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade
Hamas did propose a hostage trade, and motherfuckers didn't do
Second phase
shit.
is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one, they're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened in Israel? We're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran.
Ceasefire and weapons supplying in the same sentence, same run-on sentence, chat.
On Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed.
They only got 2 minutes, man. They don't have time for periods.
We saved
Which is
Israel.
ironic.
We
He
are
said
the biggest
period at least 10
producer
times.
That's what I'm
support
saying.
for Israel of anyone in the world. And so they're two different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be.
Oh my God.
They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion or maybe more than that, less
He's
than
just making
us.
up numbers every single time.
Why
It's so
doesn't
funny.
he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General
Back to
of
Ukraine.
NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen.
Trump-
They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost
Because
100% of
somebody
the money
in TikTok
was,
chat
was
said,
paid
why
by
not
us.
answer? It's because
He didn't do that.
Trump
He's getting all.
don't
you gotta
fuck with
ask
Israel
these
on the
people to
low.
Put up the money. We're over
he
$100
has
billion
to.
more spent, and it has a bigger
For his
impact
voters.
on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President
Oh my
Biden, you
God,
have a
this
minute.
is
Dude.
crazy, bro.
This is the guy who wants to get out of NATO. Are you going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out
It's
of
like, I
NATO.
don't
The idea that
I'm a
we're-
material girl.
Our strength
That
lies in
serial
our
girl
alliances as
is so
well.
sassy.
It may be a big ocean, but we're ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin
No, don't go ahead.
control
Go ahead. what are you
Iran,
talking
Poland,
about?
places. Just what happens
Oh,
then.
look, I said go
He has no
ahead.
idea what the hell he's talking
I didn't
about.
watch
And
Fallout,
by the way, I got
the
50
the
other
series
nations
right
around
Yeah,
before
you
this.
Biden's
It's like,
like-
hell yeah.
Yeah,
including
Biden's
Japan
like brotherhood
and
of
South Korea,
steel.
because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace.
If Biden had a
No
larger
major war in
lung
Europe has
capacity,
ever
he
been
might
able to
win.
continue
Low-key.
just to Europe.
President Trump, just
Biden
to
just needs
follow
to
up,
mute.
would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that,
I
the
would have to
problem we
see.
have
Oh my
is that we
God,
spend
bro.
all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add
Get
them
to
up,
the
they're about the
topic.
same size economically. Their economy is about the same
He's dodging.
size
For
as
sure
the
he's
United
dodging, bro.
States.
He don't know what the
And
fuck
they
we're
don't want
doing.
no cars. No,
So much.
They don't want anything that we have. But
This
we're
was-
supposed
this
to
was
take
fun,
their
like,
cars,
10
their
minutes
food,
ago.
their
Now it's
everything,
just
their
sad.
agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason
Bro
that
says
he
weave.
can play games
We
with
should do this
NATO is
without
because I got them to put up
Palestinian
hundreds
lives
of
on the
billions of
line, I
dollars.
think.
I said, and he's right about this. I said,
Amen,
no,
brother.
I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question. Would you guard us against Russia at a very secret meeting of the 28
The very
states
secret
at
meeting.
that time,
Oh my
nations at that
God.
time.
That's not very
And they said,
secret
"No, if you
anymore."
don't
Oh,
pay,
God, I hope
won't do
he
that." And you know what
dies, bro.
happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next
That's what I'm saying.
month.
Israel's not in Europe, but they
now
keep
we're
putting
the
them in
same
Eurovision.
position. We're
Make it
paying
make sense.
everybody's
Thank you.
bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump.
He didn't answer
I want
shit.
to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you
let's go.
rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol
Let's
to
go,
stop
let's go,
the
let's go.
constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes. As president, you
This is gonna
swore
be
an oath
interesting.
to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and
He's gonna
inaction on
gaslight.
January
He's
6th,
gonna
and
gaslight.
worried that you'll do
Master
it again?
Gaslighter
I don't think too
activated.
many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th.
He said not too
On
many believe
January
that, bro.
6th,
Oh my
We had a
God.
great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever.
He prepared
On
for this
January
question.
6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected.
Wait, is this
And then
answers
he
like,
comes
yeah, that
in
happened,
and
but
we're
like
now
America
laughed
was
at.
good
We're
at the
like
time.
a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those
There we
voters
go.
who believe that you
There we
violated
go.
your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying,
He said
oh,
filmmaker?
no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down.
What
I
does
offered
that mean?
10,000 Because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her. And she now admits that she turned it down.
Oh, ad. I got an ad.
Click live when
That made her into a liar. She
get
said,
through.
I take full responsibility for January 6th.
but basically he just said that
President
Nancy
Biden?
Pelosi
Yeah.
took.
Look,
Yeah.
he encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill, number one.
Bro, drink
I
some
sat
water,
in the
please.
dining room
Like,
off the
oh my
Oval
God.
Office. He sat there for 3 hours.
Joey.
I think that's just him,
3
dude.
hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well.
This
to
is
do
horrible.
something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and
YouTube
great
monetizing.
patrons
Yeah,
of America.
YouTube keeps
That's
pressuring
real.
me to run
He
ads on
says he'll
this,
not
but I'm
forgive
keep
them for
denying
what
it.
they've done. You know, they've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones that are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he
Jacob,
is,
thank you for
that
$2.
it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities.
That was
go
under
to
you.
Minnesota, Minneapolis.
That was
what
under
they've done
him.
there,
No?
with the fires all over
wait,
the
no,
city.
it
If I
wasn't.
didn't
My
bring
bad,
in
my
the
bad.
National Guard, that city would have been destroyed.
That was
When
my
you
bad.
look
My
at
bad. That
all
was
of
not
the-
on him.
They took
That was
over
2020,
big
my
chunks
fault.
of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that. They saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing. The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right.
Who's
and
we?
they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that,
How are
they'd go
you
to
not
jail.
in
President
jail?
Trump, President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on this stage is a convicted
No.
felon is the man I'm looking at right
Boom.
now. And
Boom.
the fact of the matter is,
He pulled it out,
isn't-
finally.
What he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up on Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who are convicted, deserves to be convicted.
Joe doesn't
the
sound
idea
healthy.
That they didn't kill somebody just
Joe,
when they broke
Joe,
down doors.
Joe
broke the
sounds like
windows,
he's on his last breath
occupied
every single
offices,
time.
Turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked
Come
him the
on.
first two debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's
That did happen.
refusing to- will you
That did
denounce
happen, which
these
was
guys?
crazy.
You denounce the people we're talking about now? You denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have.
Brother needs to hydrate.
After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail.
What the hell?
Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful.
That's
again,
not what you
because
said.
Right now it's a
He
failing
had the
nation.
quote on the
My
screen right now.
retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon.
Oh, here we
at a
go,
very high
bro. This
level.
is just
His son is
last
convicted. Going to be
last
convicted
4
probably
years.
numerous other times.
Like, this is just
Should have
4
been
years
convicted
ago. This
before,
I want
but
to
his
kill myself,
Justice
chat.
Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all
I
of
didn't
the
say what the
things
fuck's
that
this
he's
dude
done.
talking
He's
about?
done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with his son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky.
What?
You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right
Some
to
dude,
take
what the
something
fuck?
against any American.
Come on,
$100,
man.
Arnie, am I for
is
president?
wrong.
Bro, you
It's
gotta
simply wrong. No
stop.
president's ever
You-
spoken
you're
He's
spoiling
funding his
us.
campaign.
in our history.
Let's
Spoiling
go,
us. Yeah,
some
this is straight
dude.
into
Shout
some dude
out.
campaign.
The crimes that you are still
Thank you,
That's
some
gonna go
dude, bro.
right
This
down-
this makes us feel better
billions of dollars
about
you owe in civil
whatever's
penalties
going on
for
in our
molesting
screens
women
right
in
now.
public,
Thank you for $100,
doing a
some
whole
dude.
range of things.
That's going.
Of having
That's going
sex
right
with a
into
porn
Irony of Mice
star
campaign
on
fund.
the night
Exactly.
while
This
your
is
wife was
crazy, some
pregnant.
dude.
I
Thank
mean,
you, bro.
What are you
I wanted to
talking
flex
about?
on my $2, dude.
You have the morals of an alley cat.
I gotta go match that
Give
or
you a minute,
something.
sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ,
He said I didn't
into
have
the
sex with a
Manhattan
porn
DA's
star.
office to start
Oh,
that
my
case.
God.
That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor
what
were
the
all
Sigma?
high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when
He has
when
no
they
idea
found
where
out
he's at.
about
He's
these
looking
cases, you know what
away
they did?
from Trump.
My poll numbers went up way up. You know that because you're reporting it.
Huh?
And we took
What's
in more
happening?
money in the last 2 weeks.
Are y'all
than we've
leftists?
ever
I am.
taken in the
I don't
history
like
of-
to like
of
do right,
any campaign.
left,
I don't
whatever,
think any
bro. I'm for the
campaign
freedom of the
has
people,
ever
all of
taken
them.
hundreds of millions
I'm
of
in the
dollars
middle,
came
lean
pouring
to
in
the left.
because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy
I just like to
that's
hear
after
both
his
sides,
political opponent
go
because
from
he
there.
can't win fair and square.
Say what I
Thank
think.
you,
Jacob.
President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote for President Trump will be voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a real problem. And so the fact that, could you ever think you heard any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Do you ever hear any presidents say that I thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq.
And there he goes
I
with
said
his
I
son
wasn't gonna
again,
run
bro.
again
I guess
until
that
I saw
works
what
for
happened
like
in
a
Charlottesville,
average
Virginia.
voter.
People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked
They
him,
always
said,
flex how they speak to
"What-
the dead,
what do you think
the
those
parents of the
people?
dead.
The people the ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones he said, I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people? And this is a guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done, that's what he said. This guy has no sense of American democracy.
President Trump.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on that. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance.
Biden about to step in.
He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his
He
presidency.
shot himself for sure.
His presidency,
Look at his face.
Without question, the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be
I know I
having
keep
a
saying, look at
debate
his
about
face,
it.
but
There's
bro,
nothing
this
to
is just
debate.
insane.
He made up the Charlottesville story.
He
and you'll see
duking on
it's
himself right
debunked
now.
all over the place. Every anchor every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day it came out where it was fully debunked. It's a nonsense story. He knows that.
This
and
is
he
crazy.
didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
Biden holding back his rage. He has to look away.
Debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time.
He's fully
and the idea
dookied.
that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought they were good people.
He just admitted that the entire Democrats' policy is
carrying
not
those
the
torches,
bad
that
guy.
he
Pick
didn't
us
deserve to
because
be
we're not
president.
the bad
Didn't deserve to
guy.
be president at all. And the idea
You're gonna go back to
that he's talking
MW2
about
soon.
all this being fabricated. We saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th. We saw the people.
They should
breaking
duke it out in
windows.
Rust.
We saw
What
people
would you
occupying
do if he
it.
turned
His
into a
own vice
werewolf?
president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top.
Just mauled him live on
Which
TV.
one?
Choose to endorse him this time. His vice
My
president
chair.
has endorsed him
Sorry.
this time. So why? Why? They know him well. They serve with him. Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate.
Chat, this is awful. Jacob, do you want to keep going?
That is up to you, my friend.
This is entirely depressing. Chat, do we watch the second half? What is going on here? Is this worth it?
Are they gonna lock in, chat?
They should
They
go
should
to
do
bed.
Bed Wars.
They should do Bed Wars. They should do a Rust 1v1. Sorry, that was your joke. You want to keep watching? Okay. Chat, I don't know what to do anymore. This is insane.
Is it like the Super Bowl? Is Doritos gonna sponsor the ads for this
Yeah, I
commercial
want to see
break?
what kind of ads you would run.
It's probably just gonna be CBS shit, dude.
Let's see. Let's watch the ads, chat. Y'all are good commentary. Thank you, bro.
I noticed you said my
What do you think
name
is
when I was
driving
talking
this
about
fight?
the leftist central thing. Was it because I was interrupting or because you didn't like what I was saying?
No, I didn't like what you were saying.
Why?
Yeah,
I was just saying I'm neutral.
Centrist.
I didn't say I was a centrist.
You said what?
I didn't say I was a centrist.
What'd you say? Did I
I
mishear?
said I'm in the middle. Like I'm just
Ah.
yeah, like I'm just like neutral, and I just like to
Neutral?
I said I lean left too.
That's true. That's true. Trump and Biden Fortnite skins. That's
I don't even label myself. I don't like to label
That's what I'm
myself. I
saying,
don't know
like,
what the fuck I am.
because
That's what
when
I
you
mean.
label
To be
yourself-
honest with you,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm like labeling is so lean. That's what I'm saying.
like if I
if you label
yeah, like if I
yourself
say
in
I lean
America-
left, don't be like, oh, so you're a fucking liberal. It's like shut the fuck up, dude.
Exactly. If you say you lean left in America, they picture Biden. I want to kill. I want to. I want to. I want to. I want to cry when I get associated.
You don't even know what to say. You're just broken, dude.
I want to cry when I
Oh,
get associated
man.
with Biden, bro. That's not leftist.
That's real.
Biden is centrist. If anything, Biden is right leaning. Sorry, Biden is middle leaning right. So Jacob is on the exact opposite, like on the same opposite of the center from Biden. So yeah, my bad. I misheard you because I got like
No, you're
you,
good.
I
That's
got
why I
the
was confused.
video.
I was like, I didn't think I was being that
I'm farther
controversial.
left than any liberals. That's what I'm saying. If anything, American liberal is right wing at best. Chat, should we play Fortnite? I'm just kidding. I should updating. But let's see what you want to play. Flash games.
Like what?
Let's see.
Let's look at some.
Best Flash.
Make
games.
sure don't type P and it goes like porno.com as like a
race
suggested
to.
fucking-
Is this still a thing?
Papa's Sushiria? I didn't know it was a thing. Dude, you gotta lock in, make some sushi.
Hold on. Raise 2. Can I play it right here?
Fortnite Obi during the debate. Dude, yeah, why isn't a debate held in Fortnite? It should be hosted in Fortnite,
Where
dude.
does it say Fortnite?
Like
Yeah,
the Travis
they should-
Scott
Exactly.
concert.
Like they should do debate live event.
He
Okay,
just
chat, we're gonna play
Biden
Rice,
and
too.
Trump's like Fortnite models.
Chat, we're playing Race 2. Lock in. Can you play this together? Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck no. Oh, wait, you can't. Hold on. Raise online.
Can we do presidential trivia and all fail because we don't know enough about
We
politics?
gotta have a build battle.
Dude, the new mic is fire, by the way.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, is there... Wait, okay, hold on. Legendary ad break. Thank you. Wait, hold on. Where's like a... Oh, yo, let's go play chess, Jacob.
Oh no, no, it's back.
It's back?
It's
Oh,
back.
okay,
It's
never mind.
back.
Chat, we're not playing chess.
Live from Georgia.
I'm banned from
Let's
chess,
talk
dude. I
about
don't have an account.
persistent
That's true, that's true.
challenges you both faced in your first
Please turn down
terms,
volume. Okay,
and
it's
you'd
we're already
certainly
back in the
face
debate.
again in a second term. President Biden, while black unemployment dropped to a record low under your presidency, black families still earned far less than white families.
Good
Black
question.
Mine's
mothers
like, oh,
are
shit,
still
I don't know what
3
to say.
times more likely to die from
Good question.
pregnancy-related causes.
Play chess, minimize,
And
say
black
less.
Americans are imprisoned at 5 times the rate of white Americans. What do you say to black voters who are disappointed
wanna hear
that you
this.
haven't made more progress?
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there are more small black businesses that have been started than any time in history. Number two,
I want
the wages
stats.
of black unemployment
So I'm
is
saying,
the
pull up
lowest
the
level it's
stats.
been in a long, long time.
Hold
Number
on, I don't
three,
want to play chess while
we're
he's talking
finding-
about black
we're
people.
providing housing for black
That's just disrespectful.
Americans and dealing with the
We're still in the
segregation that
debate. Yes,
exists
asterisk, we
among
are.
These corporations that collude
Corporate,
to keep people out of their
corporate
houses.
cocoons.
In addition to that, we find that the impact on the choice that black families have to make relative to child care is incredibly difficult. When we did the first major piece of legislation in the past, I was able to reduce black child care costs. I cut them in half.
Okay, keep cooking.
In half. We got to make sure we provide for child care costs. We got to make sure, because when you provide those child care protections, you increase economic growth because more people can be in the job market. So there's more to be done, considerably more to be done. But we've done a great deal so far, and I'm not letting up, and they know it.
You have 49 seconds left. What do you say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly. For example, I provided
What are we gonna do about it?
idea that any black family, first-time home buyer, should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those black families and those black individuals who provided had to take out student loans.
What is he grinning about?
That if they were engaged in nursing, doctor, and anything having to do with volunteerism, if they paid their bills for 10 years on their student debt, all the rest is forgiven after 10 years. Millions have benefited from that. And we're going to do a whole lot more.
America will do anything but
Black
tax
families.
billionaires and
Thank you,
corporations.
President
Cook.
Trump.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right. It's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries
I don't know
anymore.
who's
They
cooking
can't-
who right now.
You look at the cost of food where it's doubled and tripled and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New Scam and all of the other
Green
all
New
this money
Scam.
that's
He
being thrown
cooking.
out the window. He caused
He's cooking with his
inflation.
nicknames
as
again.
Sure as you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18,
Oh, my
it
God.
could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 15% unemployment. He decimated the economy, absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs. We provided thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities. We made sure that they have health insurance. We have covered, the ACA has increased. I made sure
He said
that
immigrants coming will be
$8,000
taking
per
black and
person in the
Hispanic
family
jobs.
to get written off for the health care.
He's
But this guy
insane.
wants
He's
to
insane.
eliminate
I'm
that.
saying.
They tried 50 times.
Oh,
He
Jacob,
wants
your
to get rid of
camera.
the ACA again.
Yeah,
And they're
hang
gonna
on, I'm
try
doing
again
something.
if they win.
Okay.
You find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing any, we put more police on the street than any administration has. He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for equity and making sure people have a shot to make it. There's a lot going on, but in inflation, he caused it by his tremendous malfeasance in the way he handled the pandemic.
You said
Thank you.
Mount
Another
feces?
persistent challenge is the climate crisis.
How can a person be unskilled and take
2023
skilled
was the
jobs?
hottest
That's just a
year in
fascist
recorded
rhetoric, bro.
history, and
It's
communities
all there is
across
to it.
The country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels. Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Well, let me just go back to
No,
what
he
he said
probably
about
will not.
the police, how close the police are to him. Almost
Oh, my
every
God.
police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group.
What are you
What he's done
talking
to the
about?
black
It's true, though. It's true, though.
population is horrible.
They ride
including
for
the
him.
fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super
His
predators was
face.
his name, and he called it to them for 10, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening. But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform and for the historically black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zones with Tim, as you know, Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job, great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with the idea, and it was a great idea. It's one of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country, opportunity zones. And the biggest beneficiary are blacks. And that's why we have the best numbers with them in maybe ever.
Bro,
They're saying
bro,
ever.
let
I
it
read
slip.
this
Bro,
morning
let it
where
slip.
Ever, the best numbers. He's lost much of the black population because he's done a horrible job for black people. He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics.
Biden
But
looking
wait
at the
till you
camera
see
like
these
we
millions
said
of
it.
people
He
pouring
mad at
into our
us.
country, and they're going to
I
take the
didn't do
jobs,
it.
and it's already started, and you haven't seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You 38 seconds left. President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O.
No, you
We
didn't.
had the best numbers ever.
We had the
and
best
we did-
water, Chad, he
we
said.
Were using
What is he
all forms of
talking about?
energy, all forms, everything. And yet, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic just before I walked on the stage, actually.
I don't know where the hell he's been. The idea
Oh, shit, I
that
fucked
he
up,
said
Chad.
is true. I've passed the most extensive climate change legislation in history. We find ourselves.
His
and by the
pants
way,
are being incinerated?
black
I'm
colleges.
saying, bro.
I came up with $15 billion for HBCUs, historic black universities and colleges, because they don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and the like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just don't have the money. But now they'll be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done something that had the cleanest water, he hadn't done a damn thing with the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord.
He did
I
pull out of
immediately
Paris
joined
Peace
it,
Accords,
because if we
the climate
reach
accords.
1.5 degrees
They
Celsius,
did do that.
and then one point where there's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He must undo all that I've done.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion.
Who
and China
cares?
nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones. It was costing us money. Nobody else was paying into it. And it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I
Oh
guarantee
my
you
God!
that. And
I have the
want to take
biggest.
care of people. But we're
Biden
destroying
giggling.
our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social
Where are
Security.
these
He is destroying
migrants he's
Social
talking
Security,
about?
Medicare, and Medicaid.
The idea is that we, in fact,
This is a disaster,
ones
Chad.
of consequence who are not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything? We're not able. The United States can't get its pollution under control. One of the largest polluters in
Get
the
what?
world.
Oh,
Number
polluter.
one, we're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half. We have made significant progress, and we're continuing to make progress. We set up a climate corps for thousands of young people who will learn how to deal with climate, just like the Peace Corps. And we're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements of cause of pollution. But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about pollution and about climate, I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for, one, voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, cannot have to pay.
Thank you.
And by the way,
So every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical lifeline. President Biden, if nothing is done to Social Security, seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step that you're willing to take?
Okay,
to
I'm
keep
liking
Social
the questions,
Security
though. I'm
solvent?
liking the
yes,
questions.
make the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Right now, everybody making under $170,000 pays 6%.
iPad kid cough from
every
Biden.
single time they
Straight,
get a paycheck. I'm the first one they get when they're 18 years old.
straight
The idea
geezer
that they're
competition.
gonna-
Some dude, I
I'm
agree.
I'm proposing that everybody, they pay, the millionaires pay 1%. 1%. So no one I would not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody under $400,000. After that, I began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by increasing from 1% beyond to be able to guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that
Use
would be
Queen.
able to
Yeah,
help,
that's what I'm
keep
cooking. I'm
Social
cooking.
Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent. But the biggest thing I'll do if we defeat this man, because he.
But
wants
I
to
got this
Social
guy over
Security.
here. I can't move
He
it.
thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanted to cut Social Security and Medicare both times. And that's what, and if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that he, I believe, supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect our seniors is ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before. And on the ACA, as I said, you're in a circumstance where 400,000 people, 40 million people would not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. The only thing that allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is we're in a situation where we talk about education for black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants by another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year is going to be able to get $15,000 towards their tuition. He just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years.
They watch
I've
anime
never seen
for sure.
anybody lie like this guy. He
Oh my
lies.
God,
I've never seen that.
bro.
He can look you in the face. About so many other things too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia.
Chad, it's over. I'm about to win.
Ukraine. Everything he
Oh,
does
fuck.
is a lie. It's
I think you're
misinformation and disinformation.
No. I have to be
The
careful
losers
here.
and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals. They're taking
Chat
the
is
place of
GG.
our citizens. What they're doing to the VA.
Chat is
to
GG.
our
Chat is
veterans
GG. Chat.
unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street. And these people are living in luxury hotels. Listen to what he's doing. And it's
that
really
was
coming
goated.
back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden.
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's
Get
what he
it?
said.
Because
He was
Trump
the one
used to
standing
say
with Trump
that.
when he said it.
Fired.
Number one. Number
That's
two,
his
the
thing.
idea that we're going to be in a situation where all these millions and millions, the way he talks about it, illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world, the reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way,
Okay, basically
those
vote for
15
Biden if you
Nobel
don't want the
laureates who talk
fascism
about
of
being
Project
phony,
2025,
those
and
15
then
Nobel
we
laureates
just wait until he
Congress,
kicks
they all
it.
said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession, and inflation is going to increasingly go
But
up.
we're already in
And by
this,
the way,
bro.
worst president in history.
Have y'all played Helldivers? No,
159
not yet.
presidential scholars voted.
I want to.
that him
Someone
being
buy
So
it for
it's
me.
so funny how
president
nobody
in the
cares
history
what
of
they
the
got to
United
say.
States of
Like, they know
President
Biden
thank
is
you so
lying,
much. Let's turn to the cost
and
of
Trump is
child
just
care, which many American families
cannot
struggle to
handle
afford. President
anything.
Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country has risen to more than $11,000 a year
This
per
is so
child.
horrible,
For many
bro.
families,
This is
the cost of child care
frustrating
for two
beyond
children
reason.
is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do
We
to
haven't
make
played it, so we
childcare
can't
more
advise you
affordable?
on whether or not the game's good,
Just to go
unfortunately.
back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why
Oh,
he made it
my
up. But we have
God.
19 people that said I didn't say
Biden,
it, and they're very highly
just bash
respected,
his
much
head
more
with
so
a
than
rock.
him. The other thing is, he doesn't fire
Dude,
people.
he turned his
never
whole
fired
body
people.
over to look at
I've
him.
never seen him fire anybody. I
He
did fire
was
a lot.
like,
I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp.
What are we
They
talking
were no
about?
good.
He
None of
asked
them
about
fired
child
people. They
care.
paid a price for it, but they were no good. I
He's
inherited
done
these
this with
people. I
like
didn't put
pretty
him-
much
I didn't put
every
Comey
single
there. He was no
question.
good. I fired
Question
really
A.
arguing.
He's like,
He
well,
hasn't
actually,
fired
did you know
anybody.
that this,
He
and
never
that?
fired-
Cool.
He
Did not
should've
answer the
fired
question, though.
Every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire
What are we
anybody
talking
that's on the
about,
border
Donnie?
That's allowed us
We're
to have the worst
cooked.
border.
Cut him off. I have an ad about vans in French that I don't
Lock in,
understand.
brother.
Many from mental institutions. Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed?
Jacob,
Joe,
sync
our
up, just, like,
country is
pause
being
one time.
destroyed
Just
as
clink,
you and
clink.
I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants
The
open
thing is,
borders.
Trump
He
doesn't
wants
have
our
the
country to
swag
either be
and, like, the
destroyed or he wants to
pizzazz
pick
that
up
he
those
had in the
people
previous
as
one.
voters. And I
Like,
don't
he's
think
not
we just
memeable,
can't let
so
it
I
happen.
think he's
If
losing
he
people in that.
wins this
He only got the
election, our country
cultists,
doesn't
and
have
that's
a
all.
chance, not even
You know
a
what I mean?
chance of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We are the most admired country in the world.
No, you're not.
The United States of America.
No, you're not.
There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest military in the history of the world. The finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody.
Yeah, but
Number
to be
one.
fair, to know how much
Number
of our
two,
budget goes to
idea
the
that
military,
We're talking about worst
give you a
presidents.
hint.
That
That's
wasn't
most
Joe
of
Biden.
it.
Look it up or go online. 159 or 58, don't hold me the exact number, presidential historians
I'm saying
had meetings. and they
Trump just
voted.
doesn't
He
have
was
the
worst
sauce anymore.
president
He's
in
also
American
old
history.
and his
From
brain
one
is
to
also
best to
rotting.
worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact.
Biden still
That's
didn't
not-
let go
that's
of
not
that pen
conjecture.
since the beginning.
You can
He's been
argue they're
gripping
wrong, but
for
that's what they voted.
the pen is
The
his
idea
like
that he
cursed
is
object.
known
That's his
doing
thing
anything to deal with
that keeps
with
him alive.
childcare.
He's just holding on to that
He
pen.
did for virtually nothing to child care. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work. And we should encourage businesses to have
Thank you, President
child care
Biden.
facilities.
President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make
Yeah,
childcare
exactly.
more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst.
Look at his face.
Because what he's done is so
Ka-chow.
bad. And they
Biden
rate
hit a
me- I'll show
ka-chow.
you, I will show you. And they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I
Oh my
will be
God.
the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever
Oh
cut
my
taxes
God.
like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that
He didn't answer anything about child care. I'm crying.
He will increase the taxes on middle-class people. I said I'd never raise a tax on anybody making less than $400,000. I didn't. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American
Age of retirement should be the age you cannot run for president. That's or like any political power. Every political position of power. If you're above age of retirement,
he talks about how he is.
What? Go retire.
He somehow helped.
Don't be fucking stuttering, dying on stage. Look at him; he's decomposing both of them there.
$5 trillion over the next 10 years,
which
is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You had the largest deficit of any president in American history. Number one. Number two, you have not, in fact, made any contact, any progress with China. We are the lowest trade deficit with China since 2010.
Big C.
Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, President Biden. Let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans that both of you.
So
have
anybody
made a
with
top
children just
priority
go
in your
fuck
first term,
yourselves.
the opioid crisis, and for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up.
Well, prediction.
President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made,
Trump is going to talk about illegals, illegal immigrants bringing up fucking fentanyl in our country.
What
Watch.
do you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Watch.
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something.
This is crazy.
But
Jacob, are you seeing this? Am I in like in a delirium?
Because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's
This is not real, right?
It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because
Village elders, I'm crying.
Money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country.
Biden Chinese.
They are killing us as a country, Joe,
Oh my God.
and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment
Why is
they
he
need?
nodding along?
Jake,
Why is he nodding along to the question?
Until the COVID came along, we had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough, and it was the drugs pouring across the border.
See, I told you.
It started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot, and we had.
Please
we
stay
were
on
getting
topic.
very
See, I told
low
you
numbers,
he said it's the border's
very low numbers.
fault.
Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways.
My
But
God.
the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's ever seen under him because the border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we used the
Fashion
machines
is always
that can
present
detect
as
fentanyl.
words.
These
Textbook.
big machines that roll over everything that
Panda
comes across the
textbook.
border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs, more numbers of agents, more numbers of all the people at the border. And when we had that deal done, he called his Republican colleagues and said, "Don't do it. It's going to hurt me politically." No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines. And we're coming down very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to do. We need those machines.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of
The
addiction
fent
right now,
fiends
struggling
right
to get
now.
the treatment they
They're
need.
the fent fiends. Even
This
the even
is
the
just
moderator
pretending
is like,
to-
stop talking about the border,
He
bro.
ended remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say it's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter. I think a good guy. And he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out
Guys,
a long time
note
ago.
this down,
But
'cause
Putin's
I'm gonna-
probably asking for billions and billions of
wins.
dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had
I'm
two
fact
cases
checking.
where we paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns
Here we
about
go.
your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second
86 is
youngest person ever
crazy,
elected to the
Chad.
United States
Oh
Senate,
my God.
and now I'm the oldest.
I don't
This
think-
guy's 3 years younger and a lot less.
Someone's pass out.
I
Somebody
think you
needs to
just look at the
pass out
record.
right
Look
now.
What I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 50 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over billions of dollars in private investment in enterprises that we are growing.
Did Biden say
We-
he's
by
3
the way,
years
we
younger
brought
than
off
him?
A lot of people. Well, the whole idea.
I don't know, but
think
he's
he did hear
78.
that, right?
Trump is
50% more
78. Wait,
we
86
invent
minus
those
4,
chips.
82.
And we
Yeah,
lost
yeah. Well,
it
they're 4 years
because he
apart.
was
Yeah.
sending people to find the cheapest jobs
86.
overseas and then bring home a profit.
86. He's
So
going to be
I went-
86
I
by
went
the
to
end of the
South
second
Korea.
term.
I convinced
okay.
Samsung
So right now
to
he's
invest
82,
billions of
and Trump is
dollars.
78. So they're
81.
4 years.
And they're,
Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah, he's 81.
Those fabs, they
Which is
call them,
insane in
to-
the whole
to-
thing.
To build these chips, those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them.
What is he
And those
talking
are
about?
Billions.
What is he talking about?
Dollars already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans all over the. From
What
all
is he
over the world.
talking about?
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America for all our problems and all our opportunities.
Anybody.
We're the most progressive country in the world. And getting
Anybody.
things done.
President of
We're
China,
the
president of
strongest country
Russia,
in the world.
president of
We're the country in the world who keeps our word.
France.
And everybody trusts us. All of our allies and our those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong Un, he sends love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around
That was
with us.
funny. That was
Thank you.
funny.
Former
was
President
fire.
Trump,
He's
to
on-
follow
that was
up,
a
you
fire
will be
line.
82
It was-
at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know.
said I
We made
aced
it
them.
public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one.
Lover
Don't go
letters
through
is
the
crazy.
first
He
5
said he's a
questions. He
pen
couldn't do
pal
it.
with North
But
Korea.
I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every
Dear
year.
Kim.
And, you know, we knock
Today
on
was
wood,
really
we may
hard.
have wood, that I'm in very good health.
I've
just
got
won
indicted on
2 club
34
championships,
charges.
Not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do
Biden-
that,
or-
you have to be quite smart, and you have
Kim
to be able to hit
Jong-un's
the
like,
ball a
"They
long
can't
way."
keep
And I
getting
do it.
away
He
with
doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in
about
very
his
good
golf
shape.
game tonight.
I'm in good shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive
Why
test.
are we talking
And you
about
know what?
golf?
I didn't do well. I aced him. Dr. Ronnie Jackson.
He'd be a
who's
bad president. He doesn't
good
even know
guy,
how
and
to
he
play
was
golf.
White
He
House doctor. And then I
sucks.
took another one, a similar one. And both,
Stop saying we're
one of them
cooks,
said
bro.
they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you.
Prince
President
Chat.
Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200.
Why are we doing?
Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. The reason I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag.
What are we doing here?
He's a 6
This is a
handicap
presidential
overall.
debate. We're talking
I
about
was
golf.
8 handicap.
Yeah.
8. But I have, you know how many?
I've seen
I
this
think
way when
Jason
used
gave
to.
up, chat.
Let's
Jason
not-
died.
President Trump, we're going to
21
turn
Let's not act like children.
You
to
are
a
a child.
specific concern.
Started.
that
Oh
voters
my
have about you.
God.
Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, and you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable?
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say
We call
it's
it
one of the
Twitter,
strongest
W.
statements you've ever
Oh, he
seen.
called
In
it Twitter.
addition
I
to
know.
the
Oh my
speech I
God,
made,
Elon Musk had
confirmed,
just
I believe
exploded.
the largest crowd I've ever seen.
Elon Musk.
No,
Tell
that
you,
was the one.
nobody ever
No,
talks
I
about
gave
that.
you.
They
He
talk
called it
about
Twitter,
a
chat.
relatively
Elon
small
Musk
number
just
of
killed
people that
himself.
went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the
Heard
police.
Trump took
And as
bribes
Nancy
from the
Pelosi
Goblin
said,
King.
It was her responsibility.
He's nuking
not
his
mine.
house with
She said
another
that loud and
Tesla.
clear. But the answer is, if the election is
My
fair,
joke was
free, and I
Tesla
want that
space,
more
I
than
don't
anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be
That's cap.
at one of my many
Oh, that's
places.
funny. He's
enjoying
calling him, "I'm
myself.
chosen."
I wouldn't be under
That's
indictment because
cap.
I wouldn't have been his political opponent because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here.
Biden looks
the
like he's
only
gonna
reason
shit
I'm here is
himself.
he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great
said it.
again. We're
He
a
said
failing
it.
nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane.
Trump
These are wars
W,
that
what
will
are you
never end
talking
with him.
about?
He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War
What
III
what was the
than
W,
anybody
Dan?
can imagine. We are very, very
said
close
the-
to World War III, and he's driving us there.
Trump
And
is
Kim
built like a
Jong-un
WW2
and,
tank destroyer.
President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they
What
don't
is-
respect
what is
him.
going on?
They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
He's right there.
You want a World War III? Let him follow and win, and let Putin say, "Do what you want, NATO."
All they're
Just do
doing
what you
is
want.
like this
Just
guy's
veto
gonna lead
Article
us,
5.
and this guy's gonna
Attack
lead us to
on
World
one,
War III.
attack on all.
Either way, it looks like we're going there.
The idea.
Dude, we're getting
I can't think of
drafted,
a
chat.
single major
We're
leader
cooked.
in the world who wouldn't
I'm
tread
fragging,
close
bro.
with the job I've done.
Three
what they've done.
quarters of
Because we are a powerful nation.
3/4
We have
of the
wonderful- it's
Cosmic
because
House are
of the
going to
people,
war,
not me.
probably.
It's because of the American
Yeah, I'm
people.
staying here, bro.
They're capable of
I'm not.
anything, and they step up
I'm
when
not
we
coming
need it.
down.
And right now,
They're
we're
gonna have to
needed.
come get me
We
from
need to
Canada,
protect
bro.
I hope
the
they
world
drag
because
your
they're
ass
wrong
down
side
here.
of
It's like,
this
get
thing.
over here.
And again, you want to have a war.
I'm saying,
just
bro.
let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election?
They're gonna have to lock me
regardless of
up.
who
That's what I'm
wins?
saying.
Just
I'm
to
dodge.
finish what
I'm
he
dodge
said, if I
drafting.
might,
I'm
Russia,
draft dodging. Sorry.
took
And
a
if
lot of land from
and if
Bush.
they catch me, I'm
They
fragging.
took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They
Obama.
took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He
If
knew
they
that.
just wait
I
a
got along
few
with
more
him very
years and
well,
not
but
go
he
to
knew not
war, we
play
won't get
games.
drafted
He took
probably unless they
nothing
raise
from
the
me.
age. Let's be real.
But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man. Right
Actually,
here.
Austin's getting pretty old.
That's a war that
He
should
might
have
already be
never
out of it, bro.
started. It would have never started.
Trump does
ever
look like that. People
with
saying
me.
in the chat, Trump
And
looks
he's
like
going
this
to
guy.
Take Ukraine.
I agree.
And you asked me a question before. Would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position
Yeah.
right now with
Obama.
Ukraine and Russia, because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, "I will never settle until such time." They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people.
He
and
had
they've
to
lost
say
those
that it was sad
gorgeous
before
cities
he-
with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked. if I were
President Trump,
president.
the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins? Yes or no, please.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would
That-
have
that's
much
not-
rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous.
God.
If you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely. There's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much
Brain
easier
rot,
for
Chad.
me to do
You
that.
talk about brain rot. This is
than
brain rot we're
I'm
watching.
Running again. I wasn't really.
This
going
is
to
the new
run
skibbity toilet.
until I saw the horrible job he did.
Look, Biden
He's destroying our
pissing right
country.
now.
I
Pissing
would
and
be
laughing.
very
The
happy
Biden
to be
Joker
someplace
moment right
else, in
there.
a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, you continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you
They probably got him
continued
on
to provoke
Narcan before he got up there,
this
dude.
lie.
No,
about
they got
somehow there was
Biden on
all this
fence.
misrepresentation,
Cloud Kings.
all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all.
Biden
And I tell you
juiced up
what,
on
I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a
on
whiner.
Area
The
51
idea
liquid
if
right
you
now.
lose again, you accepting anything? You can't stand
Who has the
loss.
larger
Something
Johnson?
snapped in
That's
you
what I'm
when you
saying.
lost the last time.
We'll be right back with more.
There's
from the
more?
CNN presidential debate, live from Georgia.
There's more?
They can't keep getting away with it.
Chat, I can't do this anymore. My brain hurts, chat.
What should I get for dinner, chat? I'm thinking Del Taco, dude. I'm doing fast food since the presidential debate.
When you wake up in the morning, we want to be your go-to team. Nate has one of the
Chad, this is crazy. How can we do this? How can this be the reality? I'm denying the reality. This can't be possibly anything real.
Why'd you type Sonic and then retract your message and then type Sonic again?
That's why they denied the drug test.
I'll retract that statement. I meant to say Sonic.
Sonic? Well, actually, what I meant to say is Sonic. Let's go.
Holy shit. Toxic fumes. They made me cross the street the other day.
What? I hope the lifeguard can handle all 12 of my kids. What is he talking about?
I forgot this happened. This was fucking crazy, dude.
He was just chatting. My tank autism on fire right now. Let's go. Shout out the
Jesus.
autism people in the chat. He don't know what the fuck he doing. Oh wait, hold up. Oh, he kind of know what he doing. I taped the note to Martin Jr. to let everyone know he can't swim. Why is he talking to me in the middle of the game? Lock in.
Did you see that little girl had written KKK?
Which one?
It was just on the ad a second ago. Granted, she was just doing her kindergarten practice letters,
I did
and it
not
happened to
see
be,
that.
but it was 3Ks, bro.
That is crazy. Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta be tactical about this.
Subliminal messaging chat.
I can take
CBS
a-
News,
if
dude.
if I'm smart about it, I can take the queen out. Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. Peep this chat. Peep the fireworks. Peep the fireworks chat. I'm so locked in. What? Stop talking to me. I'm so locked in, chat. I might be the GOAT. I might be the greatest, chat. I might be the greatest. Hold on. Should I do it? Should I trade, chat? Should I trade? Nah. Gotta be smart about this. Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. Chat, I'm cooking. Oh, shit. No, I can't. Chat, I'm cooking, chat.
Chess yapper.
Oh, shit. Hold on, chat. Hold on.
What the fuck? What are they saying?
Chat, I'm cooking, chat.
Let's take this little guy right there, dude. Wait, are
Chat.
you playing a bot or a real
No,
person?
I'm playing a bot.
Oh, I
Playing a
was
bot.
like, who says that?
Chat, I'm cooking. Fuck! Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm not cooking. I'm not cooking. Shit. Okay. Back. The dish is a little raw. Easy. See? Boom. I don't know what he just ate. Ooh. Pause. Oh, shit. Nah, we cool.
Closing
Idiot.
statements.
Idiot.
Closing statements.
Idiot. Closing statements right now? Okay.
We've made significant progress
Deflating, bro.
from the debacle that was left by President Trump. And
Is he by himself? Did Trump
Find
die?
ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes and will not. And if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit, number one. He's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled
What's
the
a
pandemic.
debacle?
And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did, when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what?
Chad, he's selling so hard right now.
We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000
Chad, he's selling.
for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant prices.
He's selling
I'm
so
going to make
hard.
that available to every senior all along. It's happening now, and everybody in America. He wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credits people have for child care. I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this.
You've been complaining this whole time.
This tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in.
There you go again.
Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran.
We never
was
stopped
broke.
Israel. He slipped
Anybody
up.
that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate.
Okay.
Anderson Cooper.
Chat, that was hands down
Experience.
the worst thing I've ever seen. Hands down.
Fuck, man. Are we gonna have to stream every debate they do?
No, I don't think I can take another one. I don't think I can. Oh shit! Did it just fart in my ear? I'm taking a nap, bro. I'm saying, bro.
They're talking shit on Biden's fucking voice, dude. Real.
Gotta talk shit on everything, bro. Go get cooked.
Facts. Locked in.
Locked in, chat. Okay, peep this. Peep this gambit. Okay, this, boom. Peep this gambit, chat. I'm chasing him down to the ends of the earth, chat. Run. That's right. Boom. Whatever. Ready for this, chat? Ready for this? Hold on, hold on, hold on. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Hold up, hold up. What do I do? Boom. Wait. Why is it not? Boom. Is it over? Why is it not over? Am I stupid? Okay, hold up. Okay. What? That's it.
Not locked in, bro.
What am I missing? What am I missing? Am I stupid? Rook back rank? But I am. Well, why can't they keep going? I don't understand. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh my god, hold up. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh no. Oh yeah, we're good. That's it. Oh, fuck me. Hold up. Okay, there we go. There we go. My bad. I sold in the beginning. I'm sorry. All right, chat.
Yeah,
Thank
you
for
show
this.
that bot.
I showed that
You
bot.
show that bot that's on easy what to do.
Kill yourself. All right, chat. Thank you so much for this. We've been Jacob and Jason. My monitor is giving out. It's over. Like it's all black.
It's over.
It's over. Chat. Thank you for this. Thank you for everybody who stayed with us. Good
Thanks
night.
for the
Thank you
donation,
for the
some
donation,
dude.
some dude. You're the goat. It's been really
We're
fun.
gonna use it for crack and Fent.
And by that he means the revamp. Thank you. And
No, the
good-
revamp's been paid for. This is for the Fent.
No, it's not. There's still much more. Okay, TikTok is done. Thank you, TikTok. Well, you're not gonna be hearing this. Now I have to figure out how to close OBS. My screen is entirely. Okay, I'll end the stream right here. Okay, thank you guys. Bye.
Toodles.